We've seen some sort of hyper growth across the last few years in Europe. It's worth noting that our business does look quite a bit different to the US, where we have a high penetration of ad server customers. So they're using the sell side ad server that we've taken to market for the last 5 or 6 years. And that gives us real unique opportunities in markets, some of the biggest markets across Europe. The buy side of our business has also transformed. You know, we're in a world where marketers are leaning in more than ever in wanting to use their first party data. Obviously, executing that in Europe is a little bit different to what we're doing globally. And you know, we've formed some great partnerships with the likes of InfoSum that will allow us to take a unique stance to the buy and sell side on that front. Hiring wise, we're really making some key hires. We've got some big plans for this year. Our CTV growth across the board has been crazy. We bring pretty unique products to the market, and we'll continue to do so. Again, you know, the opportunity in Europe is a bit different. I would say CTV is probably a couple of years ahead in the US, just by nature of how TV and distribution of TV works is quite different to Europe. So whilst the sort of number of opportunities is smaller, they're still very large, and we plan to be going after them pretty significantly next year.
What about transparency and the importance of that for publishers? I know you guys have addressed that. Could you explain that for us, please?
Yeah, we've worked for the last 2 or 3 years in terms of signing contracts with our publishers that would allow us to share our SSP or technology take rate with the buyer that we charge to the publisher. So what that allows us to do is to bring 100% working media to the supply chain. Clients can see exactly where their money goes. That is unique. The reason it's unique is because most SSPs and DSPs won't sign those types of contracts. And secondly, where they have done, they don't operate at the same scale as Xandr. So the footprint on the sell side, plus our ability to get these contracts signed, has given us a very unique proposition that isn't in market elsewhere.
And finally, some thoughts about some big trends ahead in programmatic in Europe for 2021.
Yeah, so I think identity is the big one. You know, it's a global challenge. As I mentioned earlier, it's slightly unique in Europe due to you know, GDPR and the legislation that exists even at a market level. I think you'll see a lot more publisher coalitions and versions of them over the course of 2021. Ozone in the UK is a good example of a company that's really going great guns and has all the values that you would need to create the right identity opportunity for buyers. I think you'll see the continued growth of video and CTV. You know, the products that companies build will be where the eyeballs go, as I mentioned earlier. So it's going to be driven by consumer behavior. It needs to be privacy first. We need to make sure that we're getting that right. And I also think that, you know, the days of marketers not really understanding or knowing what to do with their first party data is gone. Like, we're truly in a world now where they know how to leverage that. It's just how they leverage it and in what environments. So I think it's on the agencies and technology companies like Xandr to educate marketers on how that can be done. And that's a lot easier these days with the sort of mass amount of knowledge that we have across the ecosystem at this stage.